Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, everybody. This is the Slider Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Queen of Swords Episode 8, Running Wild. So this is one of my favorite episodes of Season 1 of Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords was a short-lived show, only lasting for one season. It was basically canceled because of the similarities to that of Zorro, to the point where the people of Zorro sued this show. The people of Zorro lost, but Queen of Swords decided just to wrap up anyway, and I don't know what the ratings were like, so that probably had to be a factor. It was a syndicated show. It was a very good show. Was it as good as Zorro? I honestly don't remember because I only watched Zorro when I was a kid, so I'll have to one day rewatch and compare. I do plan on doing a rundown review of Queen of Swords. It's just I have to rewatch every episode to get my bearings. Like, there are some that I do remember, and there are other ones that I've never seen only one time, so I don't really remember. So sometime next month when I get my bearings and everything and watch every episode, and I'll be able to get a rundown review. However, you can watch every episode on Tubi. I just found that out now. That's amazing. Because before I was just watching on YouTube, not the best quality, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And so yeah, it's on Tubi for free. I love Tubi. Tubi has a huge library of syndicated shows, popular shows, movies, everything. And this show is out on DVD, but a bootleg version of it. But I want the real thing, but they just won't put the thing on DVD. Anyway, so one reason why I decided to talk about this for Hispanic Heritage Month is because not only is the Queen of Swords played by an actual Latina, that of Tessie Santiago. Is it Santiago or Santiago? But this also guest stars Daisy. No, I'm gonna say her name wrong. Fuentes, a very famous Cuban American. I had the hugest crush on Daisy back in the day when I first saw her. I saw her I think she guest starred on probably Baywatch or something like that. And or maybe I saw her. No, I probably saw her in a commercial, or I saw her on America's Funniest Video, something like that. I was just head over heels, where I'd never seen a woman that looked like that before. And so I mainly known her for being a guest host and stuff, America's Funny Videos and stuff. But she was a trailblazer. She was the first Latina to be a VJ host of that of MTV. And so she's also was a model. She's done some acting here and there. To tell you the truth, for a model and a TV host, she's actually a pretty good actress in this episode, and because normally people who are TV hosts can't act, but she did a pretty good job, so I give her some props. And so I remember when I saw this episode years ago, I was thrilled because it was her and everything. And so this episode, Running Wild, deals with three adolescent youths. They're probably in their adult age, but back in those olden days of the 1800s, they still used to live with their parents and stuff. A lot of people used to live with their parents, even to the 1900s and stuff. It just started becoming taboo around say 1940s, 1950s and stuff. But two of these youths are aristocrats and everything. Well, actually, all three of them are, actually, to tell you the truth. They're three young aristocrats who live with their father and adoptive father, who is a dom. Now, two of them, Theodora and Isabella played by Daisy, live with one of the doms, and this other guy named Ramon, he lives with another dom. Now, Ramon, the one dom that he lives with is not his father. It's more like his adoptive father or something like that. And so, or at least that's the impression I'm getting, because something happens in this episode, and if that was his real father, he would have freaked out a whole lot more than what he did. So I'm assuming he was adopted. And so like Adam, they're kind of like council people in a way. They own their own land. They have a good deal of money. They are gentlemen. They have like the highest caliber of people and stuff. They're not necessarily senators, but if they want to, they can all band together and like replace who's ever in charge of like the town and stuff like that. And so like it makes you wonder, well, if they have money and they're fancy rich, why are they like stealing? They remind me of the Terrible Trio from the Batman comics and stuff. But the reason why they steal is because they want to get from under their father's thumb and move to like another town so they can start like, living their own lives and stuff. So what do these three bandits do? They steal from people. Anybody who's driving out on the road, they will steal them for their gold and stuff like that. And since this time of the year is when they pay taxes on their property, they are in hot pursuit of like stealing from people. And one of the people they steal from is Adam. And so they wear these like decorative like masks on their face and they hold people at gunpoint. And so the Dom that they steal from is the dude who takes in Ramon and everything. And so after like, him being like robbed at gunpoint, he tells them straight up that like, he has to pay his taxes on his home or Colonel Montoya will take it away from him. They don't care, they steal from him anyways. When Captain Grisham comes to collect the tax debt and everything, well, not debt, but like taxes on his home, they assume, since they heard he got robbed, he can't pay. So this will make Colonel Montoya happy. However, the Dom has a guardian angel, that of Tessa, who is the Queen of Swords and everything. She pays off like, his taxes for his homeland. And so this pisses off Captain Grisham, which of course will piss off that Colonel Montoya. Tessa has a double role on this show. Not only does she moonlight as a vigilante as the Queen of Swords, but she's also an aristocrat herself. Her father was a Dom who was shot by Captain Grisham. She don't know that yet. She knows her father died, but she don't know by who. And so she helps out by helping people who normally get like arrested and or can't pay their money and stuff like that, which really pisses off Colonel Montoya. If only he knew that the woman that he hates who wears a mask is the same woman who goes off paying people's debt and stuff. And so as she's talking to the Dom, she's out by like, the desert and the water and stuff like that. And they're reminiscing. She knows him. He is special to her. He is her godfather. He knew both her mother and her father. He once pursued her mother, but her father beat him to it. He didn't mind and he loved them both and stuff. And as they're talking, reminiscing, the bandits are nearby. They don't know how this dude followed them. They think he followed them, but he didn't. And so they keep a watchful eye. And in comes Ramon and everything. And so Tessa recalls the story of how his father will put both of them on his shoulders and say he is like a three-headed monster, stuff like that. So Ramon knows Tessa as well. Well, at some point in time, Captain Grisham is clickety clacking with that of Vera. Vera is played by Elsa Pulaski. She is the wife of Thor. She is Spanish born. And so, I didn't even know she was Spanish at first because she has blonde hair. Well, anyway, she cheats on her husband. Her husband's a Dom. Her husband's an overweight man, and she always goes for Captain Grisham. She likes those bad boy types and stuff. And so, Another Dom like bursts in and he's upset. And so he wants the bandits captured and stuff. He doesn't feel safe. He tells them plain and simple that, we pay Montoya for taxes and this and that to protect us, and you're not doing a good job, and both of y'all will be replaced. Captain Grisham and Colonel Montoya does not like this Dom, and Colonel Montoya vows to, deal with this Dom on his own terms, and then later will have Grisham kill him and stuff because Montoya does not want to get replaced. Turns out this Dom, his kids are that of Theodora and that of Isabella, and he has no idea. And so it turns out that this Dom is very tough when it comes to his kids. He wants his son to take over the family business. He doesn't let them speak, or he doesn't let his daughter speak at all. And then when his son tries to interject, he shuts his son up. So they want to get away from him and everything and live their own lives. And, that's, like I said before, why they steal. And so one day they decide they're going to steal from Tessa. And so they barge into her place while the other Dom, who's related to that Ramon, is there, and they steal her blind. Well, the Dom has decided he's had enough. He takes his sword and he engages them outside. Theodora decides he's going to shoot this guy. This, of course, upsets Ramon, and it upsets Isabella. They have never killed before. Theodora is turning very rogue. He is turning into a dark, dangerous man, to the point where he will threaten even Ramon and even that of his sister. So as they're all upset and everything, Tessa vows to find these people and get vengeance. And so she don't know it's Ramon yet. And so Tessa has decided she's gonna spring a trap with Montoya. Her and Mata, her maid and everything, they're gonna be driving out by the countryside. At this point in time, they hope to get robbed by the bandits, and then Montoya and Grisham will will ambush them and stuff. Mata does not want to do this, but Tessa thinks it's the right idea. And it's weird because she's working with her enemy, And so, the plan goes the way they want. And so when they shoot one of the bandits and everything, is Ramon. He is demasked, and Tessa and Mata cannot believe who it is. So he is in prison. But he doesn't want to give up his cohorts and everything. And so, of course, he doesn't want to give them up because he's dating Isabella and everything. They love each other. Isabella is upset. She wants to free Ramon and everything, but her brother threatens her not to because they will be implicated and stuff. Well, at some point in time, the Dom, he still wants the other two bandits caught, and he's threatening Montoya. So Montoya sicks that of Grisham on Ramon. Grisham is beating the snot out of Ramon and everything, but he will not give it up. So Vera interrupts and she tells him to stop. And so Grisham leaves, and Vera's all I understand you love this woman, but she's leaving you out to dry and everything. And she persuades him to give up the location of the gold and whoever is involved. Grisham is overhearing this. Now, I don't know if Vera was working with Grisham to get the information out of Ramon. Anyways, Grisham goes out there. He gets the gold and everything, but Isabella is out there. Tessa, who is now dressed as the Queen of Swords, tells her to hide and everything. And so, so she can get away and stuff. Anyways, at some point in time, Grisham does find out that, like I said before, that who the other two bandits are because of that of Ramon. So him and Montoya decides, this is the perfect time to get what we want, or at least get what you want and everything. So at a church. It's Grisham and it's Montoya, and it's the Dom and it's his two kids. And he tells the Dom, give me what I want, or I'll expose your kids, shaming you, and you'll lose your position. So he offers up some of his money and some of his land. That's not enough for Montoya, so he ups the ante, 1,000 royales and that half a quarter of his land. And so with that, Montoya leaves, and the Dom gets to keep the secret of his kids so they won't go to jail. And so he's pissed at his kids. He smacks his son around, and he tells his daughter that cause she tells him they're gonna kill Ramon and everything. He's all like, well, you can be there for his execution and know that you had a helping hand in that. So on the day Ramon is supposed to be executed and everything, Isabella is pleading, screaming, hollering, trying to run to him, and she's being dragged away. And in comes the Queen of Swords herself, standing and riding on 2 horses so she can take out a group of guards. Boy, this fight was awesome. The Queen of Swords is whooping butt left and right with her sword. She's punching people, she's kicking people, she's just taking guards out left and right. And then she gets a little too overzealous. She picks up a huge mallet, but it's too heavy for her, and she falls backwards. I like that they show she has limitations. Even though she's a woman of those olden times and they weren't allowed to teach to fight, she does know how to fight. Her father taught her how to fight with a sword. But I like how they didn't overpower her, with that mallet and stuff. But then she picks up a shovel and she just starts whacking left and right. So she rescues that of Ramon. And so because of this, the Dom is pissed at Theodora and he slaps the crap out of him, and then tells him he's no longer his son, and Grisham arrests him. After that, Isabella and Ramon, they escape with the Queen of Swords, and she tells them plain and simple, leave this town and don't you ever return for anything. And so they leave and stuff. And because the thing about the Queen of Swords is that she's a hero of the people. And even though they are criminals and they should be brought to justice, she can't bear to see her friend Ramon, be hung and everything, all because he was stupidly following his girlfriend and her brother and stuff. And, she doesn't know why Isabella and Theodora stole, but she knows Ramon loves her to death, and so she allows her to escape. She's giving compassion and empathy, which is a great thing for a hero and stuff. And at least they got the person who actually shot that of the Dom that was her godfather, Theodora. And so Tessa, now she has lost so many people in her life. Her actual father was shot by Captain Grisham. Her mother, I think, died at childbirth and stuff, so she never knew her. And now her godfather, who she's reunited with, has lost his life. And she's one woman fighting a war of a corrupt colonel and stuff. And this is why I love this show, man. It sucks that it got canceled. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.